Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I am like doing the fight to the finish here right now. So I have been not well for the past couple of weeks. I've in and out of hospital, so I'm not doing so great, but I still want to be able to enjoy a little bit of the Christmas holidays. So I'm basically fighting to get some of the stuff done that I would normally do. And so just now I did all of this here and I realized that it got recorded, but my voice didn't get recorded. I don't even know how that happened. Anyway, so I'm going to tell you what's in this pot. So what I did, I have sorrel and hibiscus leaves together in one container that I pour in some water. Now you can add any amount of water that you want to, depending how strong you want the sorrel to be. So this pot, I don't know what, I believe this may be a 8-quart or a 6-quart pot, and I just basically put it like a little over half, so maybe like 3/4 of this pot. And I use the sorrel that I had, maybe it's like a cup and a half, because I want it strong but not too strong. So I add the sorrel in the pot with the water, and then I add some orange peel. Now orange peel, all you have to do is peel an orange and dry the skin. That's the orange peel, because a lot of times people try to figure out what you're talking about. So that's orange peel. It's just peeling an orange and using the skin, dry it, and that's your orange peel. So I put some orange peel, I put 2 cinnamon sticks, I put some clove, and I put bay leaf. Now I'm going to put this information in the description below, so it's very easy. You don't have to worry about messing this up. Really and truly, you can't go wrong with this unless it's really too strong. And it's the day before Christmas Eve, so I'm basically trying to get this done now, so tomorrow, Christmas Eve, I can just sweeten it and pour it on ice to enjoy. So that's basically what you're doing. You're just letting it boil, and once it's done, it's gonna sit in this pot. For me, it's gonna sit on the stove until tomorrow, and that's when I'm gonna sweeten it. Hopefully I can capture that process for you guys, but just in case I don't, once it's finished, all you do is sweeten it to your taste bud. Like, however, if you like sweet, you sweeten it real sweet. If you just like, just a little bit of sugar taste, then you just put a little bit of sugar. That's it. It's very simple to do. The next thing I'm going to do is some ginger beer. So I like sorrel and ginger beer during the Christmas holidays. In fact, I make it during any part of the year. I make all this stuff, but mostly for Christmas. It's a must-have for Christmas. So right now I'm working on the ginger beer. Normally I grate my ginger, but because I don't have the strength right now to grate the ginger, I'm going to just blend it, and I'm going to show you that in a couple of minutes. Okay, so the next thing I'm working on here, of course, is the ginger beer. So I have a large pot only because I want to make a lot of ginger beer. I really do love ginger beer. So what I did was blend some of the ginger. Now I'm using about 3 pounds of ginger, and I just blended up. And what I'm gonna do, I blended it not too small because I wanted to be able to strain it out properly without using like a cloth or anything like that. So I just blended it in big chunks. I'm gonna just throw it in this pot. That's my first batch that I throw, and this is my second batch. So I did 2 sets of blending. And what I'm gonna do is add 1 more of this with water. So in this large pot, so I'm using, this is what, a liter, 9 cups of water. So I'm using 3 of this. I blend twice and then I pour 1 more with water. So I'm using 9 threes is what, 27? So I'm using 27 cups of water in this large pot, and I'm gonna let this boil. Now I'm gonna add a few things to this. I'm gonna add some, I always like to add cinnamon sticks. Now for some, the cinnamon sticks is not really necessary, but I like to add the cinnamon sticks. I like how it tastes. You don't really taste the cinnamon in oh God. You don't really taste the cinnamon in ginger beer, but it gives it adds, is like adding flavor. That's what it is for me. It's like adding flavor. You know, I'm gonna use some cloves, a few cloves. Now don't add too many pieces of cloves because you don't want to, actually cloves is very strong, so you don't want to give it too much of that clove taste either, you know. Then I'm gonna add a few pieces of bay leaf. I know I've done this video before, sometime I think last year or the year before, but if you didn't see that one, maybe you could go back and look at that one, or this is for reference. So I got 2 bay leaves. I'm gonna drop in there, and then I'm using an orange peel. See, you could break this up, and that's it. And I'm gonna let this boil. Now this is gonna boil for about 10 to 15 minutes and cover and just soak. Now I believe in soaking ginger beer and sorrel for like 24 hours, only because you get the true strength of what you get the true strength of the ginger. That's what I believe. When you just blend it or boil it and just sweeten it and use it right away, you don't get so much of the heat. But when you soak it in hot water, you get the strength of it. Okay, so that's what I like doing. That's the old school way of doing it, so I like doing that. So again, this is gonna boil for about maybe 10-15 minutes, and then I'm gonna cover it and just let it soak until tomorrow, which is Christmas Eve, and that's when I'm gonna sweeten it. Now back to the sorrel. This have been boiling for 15 minutes already, because that's how long it took me to clean the ginger and all this stuff and then blend it up. So I'm gonna turn the heat down on this basically and cover it, because once you cover it, I mean, it's like done deal, you know. This is gonna stay like that until tomorrow. So the heat is gonna stay in there. It's gonna pull everything from the hibiscus and stuff that is in there, and it's just gonna sit. Tomorrow I sweeten it, and bam, you got really good sorrel. Same goes for the ginger beer. I'm gonna do the same thing. Now I also gotta work on something else. Well, let's see how much strength I have to continue this process. Okay, so the ginger beer is finished, 15 minutes tops, and I turned the stove off. So basically the ginger beer and the sorrel is gonna be sitting on the stove basically until tomorrow. So it's gonna just sit for that 24 hours. I believe it's gonna draw and get stronger. That's the way I normally do it. Everybody does it a little different, but that's the way I do it for better results. Okay, so now I did mention that I wanted to do something else, so I'm gonna move on to getting some meat seasoned. Okay, so I have here some meat that I'm gonna make pepper pot with. Now if you don't know what pepper pot is, just Google it. It's a Guyanese staple dish. I was about to say a Caribbean, but not every Caribbean person makes pepper pot. But Guyanese make pepper pot, and it's one of our staple dishes for the Christmas holiday. So if you really want to know a lot more in depth, just Google it. I just don't have the strength right now to give you all the details. But I wash and clean this meat. What I have here is a little bit of beef and a little bit of pork. Now I'm using pork ribs because I like the bone within the ribs to be in my pepper pot. So I'm just gonna use beef and pork. Now you can use any meat that you want to use to basically make pepper pot, but this is what most Guyanese use: beef and pork. We sometimes use a little bit of oxtail or other different meats, but most Guyanese use beef and pork, or like cow foot and cow tail and stuff like that. But I'm not a big fan of cow foot and all of that, so I stick to the pork and the beef and pork, sorry. Yeah, so it's wash and clean already, and now I'm going to basically just season it and let it sit overnight until tomorrow, and that's when I'm going to make the pepper pot. As you can see, I have a lot of plans for tomorrow, and I asking the Lord to give me the strength to stand to do all these things that I'm trying to plan out. But anyway, we're gonna move on to seasoning. Now, when you wash this here, make sure you wash it out really good with lemon juice, or you could use the lemon and squeeze and clean it properly. How I did it, I washed it first in vinegar, and then I used the lemon and washed it again and kind of really rinse it out. I like meat like this to be rinsed out really good, because you never know, how the butcher and whoever is preparing it, how they're doing it. So you never want to just take it out the package and start cooking. Never do that. Anyway, let's continue. So the first thing I'm going to do, I have some green seasoning that I had in my refrigerator. Now, this green seasoning is not enough, so I'm going to use all of it. Basically, I say it's not enough because of the amount of meat that I'm putting. So what I'm going to do is add a little bit more dry herbs. Now, the herbs that I'm going to add, basically, it's the same thing that is in the green seasoning, like your thyme and parsley and stuff like that. Just think dry herbs, okay? Or fresh herbs. You could use fresh herbs too, but I'm using dry, because I normally dry this stuff when I take it out my garden outside. I normally just bring it in and dry it, so that's why I'm using dry herbs. Okay, the next thing I'm gonna add is some spices. I have in this bowl here, I have some meat seasoning and complete seasoning. I have some ginger powder and some pepper flakes, and I'm gonna just throw all of this up here. Then I have here some all-purpose seasoning. I'm gonna just cut this, and I'm gonna throw the whole pack. You're basically seasoning to get your meat marinated really good and tasting good, okay? I'm gonna add some black pepper. I'm gonna add some ground clove. And then I'm gonna add some cinnamon. Now, pepper pot can always be done in different ways, but it comes down to the same thing. You just have to know exactly what you're doing and how you're seasoning your meat. Don't get too fancy when you're seasoning the meat and add a whole different bunch of stuff, because, honey, you're not going to be making pepper pot. Okay? All right. So now I'm just going to mix this up. But you know what? I'm going to go get some gloves because I don't want to get this on my hands. Okay, guys, so I got that nice and mixed up. What I'm gonna do is cover it now and let it just sit on the counter for maybe about 2 hours or so. And then I'm gonna put it in the refrigerator where it's gonna stay in house until tomorrow. And that's when I'm gonna start working on this. Now keep in mind, whatever meat you're using, if you're using oxtail or you're using cow foot or something like that needs to be cooked longer than beef or pork, you need to separate them. Season them separately with the same thing. You just have to do like half and half, something like that. And you have to cook them separately and then combine them once it's nice and tender before you start adding everything else. Okay, that's just a quick reference, because you don't want to add oxtail to pork and then try to soften it all together, because the pork is going to be finished before the oxtail. And then by the time the oxtail is finished, the pork is going to melt away, literally. You won't see no pork. You will just see oxtail, because then it will be too soft. It will be mushy in the pot, you know. So just use common sense when you're doing this. Just don't, clump it all together. Anyway, I'm so happy I got this done. I got this seasoned. Even if I can't get to do it myself tomorrow, I can possibly guide my husband, because the hard part is already done. I got it seasoned with all the flavor that I want. And then also, I got my sorrel and ginger beer all set. So basically, I just have to strain, sweeten, and put it in bottles and put it in the refrigerator to get nice and chill, and it's ready for use. So that's 3 things that I got to accomplish for today. I'm very happy about that. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, because believe it or not, I tried to do a little bit of something so that you guys can see in preparation for the holiday. I know you can hear it in my voice. I'm just fighting through this. Sometimes when you're dealing with health issues, it just pushes you right back. But you know what? I'm fighting through this. By next year, I'm going to be a new person. Okay? All right. I hope you guys enjoy this video. Hope you have an amazing holiday with your family and friends and whoever is coming to visit you or you're going to visit. I hope you guys enjoy it all. Have a happy holiday if I don't get back to this camera. And I will catch you all in my next one. Bye.